Well, for more on this, we can go live to Abuja to speak to Nigerian Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Thanks very much for being with us. So at a time of mounting tensions across the country, this move by the government to cut fuel subsidies is obviously proving to be very controversial. A lot of major strikes planned for Monday, for tomorrow. How concerned is the government? Is it something that your government may be thinking of rescinding?
Well, the government is very simple. It understands the feelings of many Nigerians because transport costs have gone up. And the government is focused on trying to make sure that the benefits that come out of the removal of these subsidies are put into programs that will directly benefit the people and bring down costs. For instance, this afternoon, President Goodluck Jonathan launched a program, began a program of mass transit to improve bus and rail transportation for the people so that the cost of transport can come down. About 1,100 buses were put on the road, and the Road Transport Workers Association has agreed to bring the cost down because the buses use diesel, which has been deregulated for quite some time. So there was really no need for costs to go up.
But obviously the cost has gone up. In fact, petrol prices, forgive me to interrupt you, but petrol prices have more than doubled. So of course it's affecting a lot of the population who cannot afford to pay these types of prices for fuel. Do you think there is a risk of running into the possibility of more clashes as a result of this?
No, what we are doing is focusing on trying to bring the benefits of the subsidy phase out to bear so that the prices can come down. For instance, I said the price of transport is set to come down because the Transport Workers Association has accepted that there was no need to increase the price of bus transport because buses use diesel, not petrol. And so they are going to bring that down. In addition, we are working with other transporters to try and bring prices of transport down. We are also working to improve other services which affect the population. For instance, let me just give an example. Part of this money is going to be put into services for maternal health and child mortality. We have one of the very bad indicators for maternal mortality in the world. And it is unconscionable that our women should be dying in childbirth whilst we are using money to subsidize diesel, which the poor people in the population do not get. So we need to improve these services to the people. We are going to be improving road transportation. Of the $8 billion that goes into the subsidy, $4 billion will go into improving road transport and rail transport, and the rest will go into supporting creation of employment for youth, improving maternal mortality, as I said, and into mass transit programs. These are all areas in which the poor in the population will benefit much more than they do from the issue of subsidy.
Well, obviously all this comes on the heels of a string of attacks in the country's north targeting the Christian community there, attacks that have been blamed on the radical Islamist group Boko Haram. Some key Christian figures in the country are now warning about the distinct possibility of civil war in the country. Are you at all concerned that if this violence continues, that this could be a reality, that the country could be on the verge of civil war?
This country has gone through civil war before, and everybody knows what that means. I myself lived through the civil war, and nobody has any appetite for a civil war. Christians are talking and Muslims are talking, and you can see that in cities like Kano, the governor there has been working with both Christians and Muslims in a peaceful way to support and protect each other. And this kind of approach is what is being talked about now. The government has also stepped up efforts. It has in fact just arrested a large number of people who are responsible for the violence in Adamawa State. So the government is moving mightily to try to work on this, and both Christians and Muslims are talking. Yes, Christians are, of course, upset. Muslims are also upset about what is happening. And the vast majority of Nigerians want to live in peace. They don't want a civil war, and we are not looking to a civil war to happen.
But some criticized your government for not adopting the right strategy in tackling this problem, for in fact pursuing what they describe to be a heavy-handed approach, which appears to be backfiring.
Well, the government has a three-pronged approach to tackling this problem. The first is to work on the security issues, which we are doing because the government must assure its people's security. The second is to work on inclusiveness. We must run economic programs that are inclusive, recognizing that issues of job creation and unemployment are critical in some of our poorer states, like in the Northeast. So we are launching youth employment programs to deal with this problem even as we speak. This is also part of what we will use the subsidy removal money to do, to put our youth to work.
Well, you talk about inclusiveness. Let me interrupt you here briefly. You talk about inclusiveness. Do you think there should be a dialogue with, as you call them, these people? Should there be negotiation between the government and Boko Haram?
Well, it's not for me to comment on this kind of deep security issues because it's not my area of expertise. But what I can tell you is that we are working on inclusiveness, meaning that we are creating economic opportunities for youth in this area. The government launched a program for skilled youth. We are working with the states. The state governments in these areas are also doing a lot to try to improve the economic situation, and we'll be working even harder and faster on this because we need to improve the position regarding poverty in these states. And it's not just a security approach, but also an economic approach.
Nigerian Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, thank you very much indeed for joining us.